Hello and welcome to a shorter Granada Reports tonight because of ITV's coverage of the Euros. First, police have uncovered what they say is a large-scale drugs laboratory in a remote part of Clitheroe in Lancashire. 4 arrests have been made in a joint operation by the police, the National Crime Agency and fire services. From Clitheroe, our correspondent Mel Barham has the latest.
Well, this huge, large-scale amphetamine laboratory was actually discovered during an early morning raid yesterday morning at an address in Clitheroe. It was so large that police are calling this one of the largest cooking operations they've ever uncovered in the UK. Now, that lab is currently being dismantled and 60 kilograms of amphetamine, which is also known as speed, was seized alongside significant amounts of chemicals believed to be used in the production of the drug. A 77-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of money laundering and permitting premises to be used for the production of Class B drugs. And police say this was actually part of a series of coordinated raids across Wigan and Lancashire yesterday morning in an effort to tackle serious organised crime. In those raids, 3 further men were arrested, a 62-year-old and a 52-year-old from Wigan and a 43-year-old man from Lee.
Mel Barham reporting. The leader of a notorious paedophile ring has lost his bid for parole. Colin Blanchard from Rochdale convinced a group of women online to abuse children and share the images with him. He was jailed indefinitely in 2011. After a hearing, the parole board ruled he should stay in prison for the protection of the public. A former Greater Manchester police officer who had a sexual relationship with a vulnerable woman has been jailed for 4 years. Shamraiz Arshad targeted the woman after she'd reported feeling suicidal. A senior officer in GMP's Professional Standards Department said Arshad of Lostock in Bolton was a disgrace to the police service. A 71-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of preventing lawful burial after the remains of a baby were found in Wigan. The discovery was made at a house on Marsh Green in April. The suspect remains in custody for questioning and is the 6th person to be arrested as a part of the investigation. Next, the general election is less than a month away, with the vote in a number of North West seats sure to prove vital to the overall result. One of those is Cheadle in Greater Manchester, where the Conservatives are defending a narrow majority. But Labour and the Lib Dems both believe they can win. Our reporter Zoe Muldoon went to Cheadle and found it could be another close call on July the 4th.
Cheadle, one of Greater Manchester's most affluent constituencies, made up of villages including Bramall and Gatley. But even in leafy Stockport suburbs like this, people are feeling the pinch.
Cost of living, cost of everything going up.
Darren Shaw owns a pub on the outskirts of Cheadle village. He says running a small business right now is tough. Prices of everything, including business rates, electricity bills and alcohol, have shot up over the years.
Everybody's feeling the pinch. All the customers are feeling the pinch. We're feeling the pinch. We've recently changed electricity suppliers. We're not putting prices up. We want to keep it as it is. And we're taking the hit, and we shouldn't have to do that in this day and age.
Are you going to be changing who you voted for in the last general election?
I will change from who I went with last time, because I just think there's time for a change.
On Cheadle High Street, there's a number of empty units. Some have been vacant for years. It's issues like this, as well as the NHS, and even Rishi Sunak's self-confessed D-Day mistake that are occupying the minds of voters here.
I think I'll stick with Conservative, actually. But I was disappointed with Rishi leaving the 80-year celebration of the Normandy landings, which, again, is something which I was upset about.
I will be voting Lib Dem this year because I think it is time for a change. I think it's appalling what's happened to the NHS.
There's a lack of investment, a lot of empty units, but also units are too high, so you're not going to get young people starting a business in Cheadle.
Rishi's done a lot, and a lot of people are forgetting that. And that Keir Starmer is useless.
You're not a fan?
No, definitely not. He's never ever said what he's going to do properly.
So you'd like Cheadle to stay Conservative then?
I really would, yeah.
The Cheadle seat has flipped between the Conservatives and the Liberal Democrats since the turn of the century. But in 2015, it turned Tory. In 2019, the Conservatives won by just a few hundred votes. And now it's a major target for the Lib Dems to regain.
Lib Dem leader Sir Ed Davey even chose Bramall Hall as the backdrop to one of his campaign stunts. Just up the road in Bramall at a baby sensory class, TV debates and party manifestos aren't a priority for some of these new mums.
Going back to work earlier than I wanted to, trying to get nursery placed, that sort of thing. It's been a bit tricky at the moment.
You don't know who you're going to vote for just yet?
No, probably need to research it a little bit more.
Conservatives' plans to double free childcare hours initially appealed to Liz, who would normally vote for the Tories. But the mum of two and primary school teacher now wants a change in government.
Schools are on their knees at the moment. It's almost depressing to work in a school at the moment. So I think us teachers are all ready for change and see what Labour can do. We are generally seeing our bills go up. We're ready to see what can be made better.
So with just a few weeks to go until the country decides, will the bubble burst for the Conservatives in Cheadle? It's clear that in this constituency, every vote will count. Zoe Muldoon, ITV News.
Well, there are 7 candidates standing for election in Cheadle. Here's the full list on your screen. And as the election campaign gets into full swing, if you head over to our social media channels, you can join Zoe on From the North, the campaign trail, our roundup of the week's biggest political stories in the North West. Available on social media, ITVX, and wherever you get your podcasts from. We move on to football now, and Manchester United will have to spend big if they want to sign Everton's high-rated defender Jared Branthwaite. Despite reports United have agreed personal terms with the 21-year-old, it's understood Everton won't accept anything less than £70 million for the player. One man staying with the Blues is their club captain, Seamus Coleman. The 35-year-old has today signed a new 1-year contract extension. Now, Taylor Swift will once again grace the stage later as she performs the second Liverpool show of her record-breaking tour. Fans from around the world packed out the Anfield Stadium last night to watch the US star. She's in the city as part of her Eras tour and had a special message for her fans.
You broke the all-time attendance record for this stadium tonight.
Is the weather going to hold for those thousands of Swifties? Here's the forecast with Emma.
Have you burnt tea again?
I'm scraping the cooled oil into the bin, not the sink.
Can we eat outside? It's nice.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Hello there, hope you've had a good day. Some sunny spells around, but also torrential rain this morning through parts of Merseyside and also Crosby. And I hate to rub salt in the wound, but on this day last year, we were blessed with beautiful blue skies, barely a cloud in the sky and 27 degrees Celsius. So a very different feel to what we're getting at the moment. And the weekend is looking rather showery, some sunny spells around, feeling less cold, but not fantastic really. I think most of the showers should have eased off by now if you're outside queuing in Taylor Town. As we head into the evening, a brief respite, as I say, a lot of the showers reducing, but then they do return through the early hours of the morning. It's not exactly cold overnight tonight, but could be a little bit chilly in 1 or 2 spots with light winds and a bit changeable, some clear spells here and there. Tomorrow the sun's up at 4:39 and sets about 9:45 in the evening. We're expecting a bright-ish start, but not long before this area of rain swings into our part of the world from Northern Ireland, pushes across Granada land there. Could be a bit gusty as it moves in. However, there should be some clearance later in the day, so it won't be too bad, but we're quite close to the centre of that low which parks up over us over the weekend, so it looks like it's going to be rather unsettled. Here's your pollen.
It's a little bit burnt.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Hello, summer. Piri sponsors ITV pollen count.
So then, grass pollen's on the up, weed and some fungal spores also in the mix. Counts moderate tomorrow for the next couple of days, but some finer weather heading away on Tuesday, so they could rise at that point. That's it. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Emma. I'm back with a slightly later update after news at 10. For now, though, enjoy the rest of your evening and the football. See you later. Bye-bye.